everybody, we're live today. What is today, Friday? I think it's Friday. Nice seeing you guys. I'm gonna get the other social media up and going. Hey everybody, nice to see you. I'm stepping on things. Okay, hi guys. It's so great to be back. I haven't done a live class in the last few weeks because life kind of was just busy and getting in the way a little bit. So I'm really, really excited to be back here streaming with you guys. Today we're doing a 45-minute flow. I've heard that sometimes, especially on like the online platforms, those are a little bit easier to stay focused and get completed. So we're gonna go ahead and move into our 45-minute flow today. And I did really want this to be a themed session. Sometimes yoga teachers, they'll teach to a pose or they'll teach to kind of a concept. And today, like I said, I really want to teach to what's been on my heart and I've been feeling for the last few weeks. And so our theme today is rise. We're going to rise together, not just on our mats, but through our movement and through our breath. We're going to rise both physically and emotionally and mentally. I think for the last few weeks, we've sat in a lot of stillness. We've sat in a lot of quiet. We've had kind of been forced to have some reflection time while being in our homes. As we're slowly seeing certain businesses open or people going out and returning to the workplace, I think it's a perfect time to really just encourage all of you around who are experiencing that kind of shift, the freedom and the kind of strength to rise to the occasion that is moving through a time that has been very frightening, filled with uncertainty, and regardless of that, we are still here. We're still strong. Our bodies, our minds, and our hearts are still able to love and feel and experience goodness. And so I want us to really think about that when we move today. I think the movement on our mat can be really powerful when we connect it to those types of thoughts and feelings. So, lots of talking, sorry. I want to read to you a poem that's one of my favorites really quickly. And so as I do that, you can even go ahead and make your way down onto your mat. We're going to begin laying on our backs with our knees bent like so. So I'm going to sit up and read, but you can lay back and just listen. Maybe close your eyes. Really focus on lengthening your breath. Some nights the wolf inside of me shrinks to nothing. She bares her teeth and runs away. The dragon in my chest rejects me. She's so tired of being slain. There are nights when the lioness cowers and says she can't fight another day. But what about the phoenix? She sits with me in the darkness. She whispers, "We will rise, just you wait." Continuing those inhalations and exhalations, let's begin bringing a little bit of movement to our hips and our lower body. Let's let those legs fall to the left side, arms kind of opening up. Nice big long arms. They're going to be our wings today. Exhaling through that stretch. Inhaling, bringing those knees back to center. Exhaling, letting those legs fall, hips open to the right. Good. As we bring the knees back to center, let's hug them in close, double knee to chest stretch. And on my exhale, I'm going to allow those knees to kind of just circle. So we're almost kind of just shifting weight onto either side of our pelvis. And that ridge that makes up the top arc of our big pelvic bone. We're going to shift in weight right and left as we bring those knees kind of out and in. Let's pause once again, nice and close. Only this time, let's take those knees wide. Again, shifting on that spine. And then I'm going to transition into happy baby. Always one of my favorites. So many of my students tell me this is their favorite pose. It's such a relaxing hip opener, but also gives you an ability to lengthen the hamstrings if you want, or lengthening that lower spine. Breathing through these poses. Big inhales and exhales. Good. As I bring my knees back down to the mat, I'm going to cross right completely over left. Allow those legs to fall once again. Right hand coming out in T position. If you want to deepen that stretch, get a little more intensity on the outer kind of IT band region of the right leg, you can straighten that leg out. Yeah, you guys can see. Good. And then we'll bring it back to center. Same thing, opposite side. So I'm just going to leave my left hand out here. Keep that upper body nice and flat. Again, you want to extend. Now, for me, it's that left leg. Just holding or hooking that big toe. Two more breaths here. Really try to relax if that stretch in that outer IT band is really tight. Really try to release and relax into the stretch. Allow yourself to feel that intensity and let it pass. Good. And we'll come back to center. Beautiful job. Now, I'm going to let my hands be nice and flat. Right knee is bent, right foot on the flat on the floor. Left leg's going to go into the air, nice pointed toe. We're going to make kind of a circle with this left leg. We're going to drop it down. We're going to bring it all the way out, so make sure you have room around you, and pull it back in. This is a wonderful exercise for the inside of the leg. As we inhale, let's rise that left leg up. Exhale, bringing it down and out. Inhale, bring it up, back to center. Two more times. Allowing the hip flexion and extension slightly, but then ab and adduction as we bring that leg out away from the body and then close to our midline. So last time here. Beautiful. Let's reach up. Reaching for that foot and all the way back down. Up. And down. Make sure we're not holding our breath here. Rising up. Imagine we're lifting with our chest, not just our hands. And down. One more time. Beautiful job. Let's bring those hands right back alongside of us. Same thing, opposite side. Right leg gets straightened out, toes pointed. We're going to go ahead and start our circle. So let's drop it down, bring it out, and in. Pay attention to the strength, especially in that inner thigh as we bring that leg in. Keep those muscles active and tight. Also, keep that core tight as well. We're trying to use our core to keep us stable as we bring that foot up, back towards our midline, that line that runs straight up and down our body. Last one. Good. Let's extend both hands over. Pull that toe back so our ankle is flexed, reaching up and down. Trying to keep that breath steady. And down. Beautiful job, guys. Up and down. We'll do one more. And down. Awesome work. Now I'm going to roll on to my left side. You can even kind of pause here if it feels good. Left hand under my left ear. And then when you're ready, I'm going to push that ground away so we can sit ourselves up. Rolling into a forward fold, nice and relaxed. I'm even going to take these feet nice and wide so they're right at the edge of my mat. I'm going to reach to the outside of those ankles. Let the crown of the head point down, even shake that neck side to side. Good. Letting those arms fall to the center on our inhale. We're going to rise, big arms out. Hands coming together. Exhale, flow and fold. Keep that spine as long as you can until you're ready to collapse those hands down. We'll do it again. Inhale, rise. And flow and fold. Last time, rise up. And flow and fold. My right hand's gonna stay down on the mat. You're welcome to use a block if you need to. Left hand goes up. I'm gonna also bind this hand behind the back, lifting that left shoulder, so I'm really signaling to try to get as much openness in my heart center as I can. Good. Releasing opposite side, but before we do that opposite arm, let's reach up. Flow through that center. Left hand down, right hand in the air. Big breath in, stretching up, exhaling into that bound position. Again, think about opening that heart center. Beautiful, releasing down. Good. We're gonna move into our first sun salutation A. I'm gonna walk these feet in. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling, stepping or hopping back. We're gonna lower in chaturanga, lifting into upward dog. And if you notice with our theme, upward dog is a rising pose, and we're rising with our heart center, we're rising with our emotions, with our energy stored within that center. And then we can exhale to down dog. I want to do a full sun salutation once again. So when you're ready, stepping forward, forward fold. Big reach up, flowing right into our forward fold once again. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling, stepping back, lowering down and rise up. Lift that chest. Holding here. One more breath. And exhale. Beautiful. Getting heat in that body. Allowing down dog to give that little bit of recovery. Beautiful. From here, let's lift our right leg nice and high. I'm going to take that right knee, bring it to the chest. And I'm going to kick it across my body. I want us to think about lifting these hips, rising those hips up. Left hand reaching to that ceiling. And then releasing down. Back to three-legged dog. Stepping forward. Rise up. Warrior one. About the strength in those legs, so strengthen those arms. We never have those soft hands. We always have big, long, active engagement in the arms and the legs. Let's exhale. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse, warrior. And exhale back to warrior two. So I want us to think about even lifting in Warrior Two. A lot of times we hold this lunge really, really low, which is great, but I want to think of us lifting and engaging not only that core, but engaging that front foot as well. So you can see I'm up on the ball of my foot. I'm going to take extended side angle. You can stay up on that toe. It's a balanced pose, definitely challenging. Let's extend that extended side angle. Put that hand down to the ground. Left arm up. If that foot needs to drop, that's always fine. I'm going to take it one step further. If you'd like to bind this pose with that toe or heel lifted, feel free to do so. Beautiful job. I'm going to slowly release back to that extended side angle. Drop that foot, lifting my back heel. I'm nice and centered here. I'm going to step back and take a down dog into a vinyasa, focusing on that lift through the heart center and upward dog. Beautiful job, guys. Left leg up, three-legged dog, nice and high. Bring that knee to the chest. Pull, and again, think about everything's lifting. So we're not holding this knee down here, we're pulling it up, extending across. That hip is going to be the point where we rise to the ceiling. Beautiful, back to center. Awesome. Taking it up, three-legged dog, stepping it forward. Warrior One. Beautiful. Active Warrior Two. Lengthen out. Once we have nice, long use of our body in the forward to back portion of our mat, then let's think about engaging those abdominals. And like the more like we engage those, they kind of like pull the hips, everything a little more under, a little more up. And then we can then lift onto that left toe. Beautiful. Let's take it a reverse warrior here, even with that toe lifted. Back to Warrior Two. Then we'll move into our extended side angle. Again, say that foot's shaky. You want to lower that heel so it's just hovering off the ground. That's always fine. Remember, chest stays open in extended side angle. Then we drop. And if you'd like to take that bind, you go right ahead. Beautiful. As we release, hand comes down. Once again, center and step back to down dog. Taking that vinyasa. Beautiful. Lift up through upward dog. Good work, guys. Following one more recovery breath in down dog. Let's step it forward. Step or hop our feet up to our hands. Beautiful work. So as I reach my hands up, pausing at mountain pose, Savasana, I'm going to open my feet up because we're going to kind of sink into Malasana. So just so the camera can see me a little better. My feet are wide like so, and I reach up. I'm going to let left hand lead and kind of sink down, 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 down till I'm in Malasana. That hand can come behind if you need it, or way out in front, really opening that heart center. You see that? Now what's beautiful here is the hands are from where we started. This right hand's leading up, it's leading us. We're going to rise up, both hands up, beautiful, opposite side. Drop. Even as we sink, that pose still holds such power and such beauty. But as we rise, that's where the real strength in those hips and legs come from. We're going to do it again. Now that you're a little more comfortable, you may be able to sink and open a little bit more, really reaching up and back. And lift up. Both hands rise. Last time, opposite side. Beautiful job. Big inhale, lift. Once we're back to center, we're returning to that Tadasana, those toes facing forward. So again, you may have been facing forward that entire time on your mat. That's wonderful. From here, let's sink into chair pose. Chair pose is such a beautiful asana because just in and of itself is in defiance. We're sitting or we're sinking, but what are our hands doing? Our hands and our heart center especially is rising and lifting. So it's showing that even in those times where we felt like we were sinking or we were drowning or we were losing, we can still use the energy within ourselves and around us to lift from that place. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, come back to Tadasana. Left leg's gonna extend up. Ekapada Tadasana or single leg mountain pose. I'm gonna make sure I have space so you guys can all see. Because as we balance here, we're gonna extend and back. Extend, really use those hip flexors and back. Hands can come away from heart center, maybe just reach forward. Extend and back. One more. And back. From here, let's kick back into warrior three. Now, we have our blocks out in front of us, so if engagement in warrior three is a little shaky, you don't want to extend those hands out in front, you can always put the hands down on a block. We want to make sure our hips are squared. But if that block's nearby, we're going to transition to half moon. Again, imagine we're going from being low to high. Half moon is a beautiful heart opener, hip opener. If you want to float that half moon, that's another beautiful option. Good. And then we're going to step all the way back. Reverse warrior. Cartwheel those arms all the way forward. Revolve side angle. You guys are doing amazing. Stay with me. Nice long flow. Now from this side angle, we can drop that knee and step back to a modified plank, or we can keep that leg up, step back to a full side plank. Good. You can reach forward in that side plank, bring that arm around. High plank, we're going to roll onto the opposite side, only this time, if you'd like to take a wild thing, feel free to do so. Big lift. Think about that heart center and hips, lifting and rising beautifully. Good work, guys. With that wild thing, we'll come back to our high plank. If you have it in you, you want to take a vinyasa. You want to rise with that upward dog, feel free. But regardless of how you're feeling, you have a little bit of time for recovery. This recovery could be down dog or child's pose. So that's up to you. Feel free to take 3 to 5 breaths here. Wonderful job. Following our next exhale, on our inhale, we can transition from either child or down dog, stepping forward to a forward fold. Big reach out and up. And exhaling into Tadasana. Let's once again sit into our chair pose. Define that seat. Lifting through the upper body. Even if the hands cannot lift and we want to hold hands at heart center, we're not rounding here, right? We're not closing off our heart center. We're still rising through that center of our body that holds those emotions. Our eyes are lifted. We are still rising despite the sitting asana. Good. And then we'll once again return to Tadasana, this time lifting opposite side, right leg, Ekapada Tadasana. And we're going to extend that out and back. Out and back. Good. Out and back. Make sure, I know Instagram is getting cut off just a little bit. But we'll be moving back in just a second. You guys are doing awesome. One more. Because then we'll transition. I'm going to take just a little step back so you can see me in the view of the camera. Transition to our warrior 3. Again, since you know half moon's coming and you know maybe you need a block, you can always position that first so you have an easier transition. Notice I'm squaring my hips right now because it's easy to get kind of like, I don't want to say lazy, but like our body knows what direction we're going. So we'll start warrior 3 already with our hips kind of open. Rather, we want to make sure they stay squared. And holding it this whole time squared off. You guys are rock stars. Good work. Because then, and only then, when we're ready to transition to half moon, do we start to allow that hip to open up. So I know I'm facing away from the camera, but just like we did before, we enter half moon. Think about lifting through that heart center, pulling those shoulders back. You want to try to float this pose. You can release the block or the ground. Ooh, I came out of it a little fast, but then we'll step back, go from a warrior stance to our reverse warrior to offset that beautiful transition where we're in that half moon and we come back. Beautiful job. Let's cartwheel those arms. We're going to come to that revolved side angle. Left hand lifting. And again, everything we're doing, we're rising, especially leading with that chest. Up, 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 up. Beautiful. Depending on your transition, if you want to drop the knee or keep that leg straight, we're going to step back. Again, what's rising here? Those hips. Up, 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 up. Beautiful. Let's circle that arm, reach it forward. Forward, 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 forward till we're in high plank. Transitioning to that opposite side, we're going to get a beautiful, lifted, open, wild thing. If you want to feel that rising through the hips even more, start with a little drop and then lift. Wonderful work. Following that wild thing, we come back to our high plank. At this point, you could take down dog or child's pose or add that vinyasa. Wonderful work, guys. Now I'm going to lower to the mat. I'm going to do something a little more challenging. So normally when we lower to the mat, we lower in chaturanga, where we shift forward and we drop slowly and controlled to our mat. From here, let's go ahead. Keep just the arms behind us, lifting that chest up. So we're not going to reach for the legs quite yet. Legs are active, but they're not lifted. Holding here. Now I'm going to place those hands right back where they were when I descended for chaturanga. So they're not up by my shoulders. They're sitting right back at my rib cage. Elbows are pushed back because we're going to do a reverse chaturanga. We're going to fight that gravity. We're going to rise against it. So crown of the head points forward, forehead to mat, and then we push away. Slow, slow, slow. We rise, so we're in that high plank, and we take it up to down dog. Good work. I hope you guys could see that okay, because I wasn't able to see the camera while I did it. But we'll do it again. We'll move to high plank. Keep those hands exactly where they are. Chaturanga down, forehead to mat, and then reverse it as slow as you can. Rise. Rising against that adversity. Pushing that ground away symbolically. And sitting back into that beautiful down dog. You guys, all of you, all of my students that I work with, I see so much strength that so many of us don't give themselves credit for. So reverse chaturanga is a great way to pull that out of you guys. Here we go, last time. Drop, 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 drop. Good. Pause. And reverse it. Slow, 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 slow. So those elbows are straight. And we can lift those hips back to down dog. Wonderful work, guys. Woo. Let's step it forward, right leg. Dropping that back knee back. We're going to take an open lizard. From open lizard, we're going to bring that knee back in line. Bend that back knee if your quadriceps give you room to do so. Let's reach back, find that lizard, open that chest across our body. Make sure the quadriceps and the hip flexors get a little bit of a stretch before our final pose sequence that we'll be doing. Bringing it back around. Let's arch that back, almost like we're doing a cat stretch and a cow. Beautiful. I'm going to take my hand on either side of that front foot, stepping back to down dog, taking a vinyasa if you'd like. Exhaling back to our starting position. So just like on that opposite side, left leg's going to go up nice and high, three-legged dog, stepping it forward, planting it carefully, lowering that right knee to the mat, giving that hip some extra love by allowing that kind of open scorpion dog. And then from here, as we bring that knee back in line, I'm going to do a nice, beautiful reach because we're opening that chest across the body. So chest right next to that front leg, reaching up and back to that bound lizard. There's so many variations in lizard, so it's definitely one of the poses I pull out regularly because it's beautiful to stretch not only the outer hips, but the entire hip flexor kind of complex, front of the legs. All the areas that stay pretty tight for me. Good, let's release that back down. Bring that hand right back up. Let's do our cat-cow sequence from this lizard pose. One more time. Beautiful job. Hands on either side of that front foot. Runner stretch. Stepping back to down dog with the vinyasa. Good work. Okay. So I'm going to walk my feet just up to the front, or not front, sorry, the middle part of my mat. Pausing when I get there, letting my hands slide back to me in a kind of forward fold with hooking that big toe or sliding those hands underneath the feet whatever feels good. Beautiful. We'll take a big reach up. Wonderful. Hands are going to come to heart center. I'm going to reach for my back foot, pulling that heel nice and close to my hips. I'm going to do that with both hands, just getting a nice deeper quadricep stretch. The final standing sequence we're going to do is we're going to start engaging our right hand up, reaching forward, thinking about, again, just like in our warriors, we're lengthening out, which we do in dancer's pose, as you can see. So we're lengthening, 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 right? But following that lengthening, I want us to rise. High as we can. Adjust if you need to. If you fall out of the pose, that's fine. It's hard watching on video, trying to stay focused. Good. So again, it's so important to think about reaching first across our mats, because we're always reaching and stretching ourselves, right? And only following that reach, that challenge, can we rise. Beautiful job, guys. Let's step out, returning to Tadasana. Beautiful work. Just so I can see the camera, I'm going to flip so that as I work my opposite side, I'll be opening my hips and chest to the camera so I can see you guys. Nice stretch of that quadricep before we once again extend up. And like I mentioned, we reach forward. We reach that foot through that hand backwards, right? First. And then, and only then, when we've gotten as far as we can reach, we lift. Beautiful work, guys. Oh, I wish I could see all your beautiful poses that I know are there. Oh, I'm releasing down. Now I'm going to stay on this left leg. I'm going to enter cactus arms, right leg up, Ekapada Tadasana. We're going to sit in eagle pose. Sink it down. Just like the poetry we read, we're holding a stance just like a phoenix. And the phoenix always rises from that difficulty, that adversity, with resilience, with strength. That's what we're all doing on our mats today and off of our mats moving forward. Let's lift. Big cactus arms, reach up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Beautiful, opposite side, left leg up. Cactus arms. Steady that self. And allow yourself to kind of collapse. And I only say that, we don't necessarily really round the chest, but for the purpose of visualizing when that phoenix or that eagle sits, that power is hidden, right? And we're reminding ourselves today that when we sit, even in an outside viewer's kind of an unbiased view, people would think, oh, maybe that creature is weak or injured. They don't see that you can hold and build strength in these asanas and then lift and rise out of them. Big final reach up. Let's exhale, flowing all the way down. Inhale, flat back. I want us to get through one final vinyasa, stepping back, lowering to that mat. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling to down dog. Beautiful, beautiful job, everyone. From that final down dog, if you want to walk it out just a little bit, make sure those calves feel nice and relaxed for Savasana. Slowly make your way down to your mat, on your hands and knees. Maybe take a child's pose. If that upper body needs a little extra stretch, you can always kind of walk those arms out to the left or to the right. And then again, if we're all in child's pose, before we bring our feet out from underneath us, I want to just do big hug, because this is a wonderful way to just kind of open that chest up, especially after our eagle pose that we did, eagle arm. Again, crossing opposite arm over the top. So proud of all of you who've gotten through to this part of the flow. Let's enjoy a beautiful Savasana. If you'd like to get water, towel off, or a blanket or pillow, keep you as comfortable as you can be in Savasana, go ahead and grab that now. Laying back so that our body is as relaxed as possible. Maybe that's in traditional corpse pose, or maybe it's laying on your side, or keeping the knees bent. Once you find that spot, I want to encourage you to find your breath once again, meaning we're very conscious of that inhalation and exhalation. Wander, allow it to stay in here and the now by feeling the breath. Let's slowly begin to move those fingers and toes. Small movements, generally transitioning into bigger movements as we kind of awaken that body from that stillness that is Savasana. Maybe a big reach overhead, big breath in, and then with that exhale, we can sit ourselves up. Taking easy pose, just our cross-legged Supinasana facing forward, palms open and up. Eyes closed, focusing on these final breaths together. Inhaling, breathing in all the good we did for our body. And exhaling that good out into the world. Again, inhaling, breathing in all the good we did for both the mind and the heart. Allowing that good to be spread out and around from us. On our last breath in, collectively, let's do a big reach up. Bring those hands to heart center. As always, guys, it's such a pleasure getting to share yoga with each and every one of you, even through the screen. And just remember next time, if you're feeling down, whether it's emotionally down, emotional exhaustion, physical exhaustion, injury, illness, grief, whatever it is, just I hope you can remember that that place of being down is only from there that we rise up. So remember that. Thank you so much. Namaste. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week into our weekend. Okay. Oh, and I love seeing all my friends. How are you? Okay. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll end class here. Thank you guys all for joining me once again. It was great working with you.